Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah, like
Okay.
today. Today from
And
2 to
Friday.
Friday I will not take,
Actually,
because Friday Barul sir will take. My class in Friday earlier used to take, that will not be from now on. Okay, because it will
okay.
just it will be too much of a class for this subject. So all the class and routine is designed according to that. This is our AICTE prescription. Okay. Okay. Now coming back to this lecture. Ah, give me 1 second. So the remaining thing I actually wanted to teach you today is related to the dimensioning part. Dimensioning is very important in all engineering drawings. Just a moment. It's slow. Okay, so please pay attention in this lecture. I'm going to cover dimensions. Dimensions. So as you saw in the drawing, we have to go together with the drawing part as well as the dimensioning part. So suppose I want to give a dimension here of a particular object, like the span view of a building, right? I have to show the width as well as I have to show the breadth. So this is my width, and this is my width. This is my breadth. Uh, then I always prescribe you to go for a different layer always for dimensioning. So in that case, you create a layer as we show it in the last class, LA. Okay. So this is my default layer, 0 layer, which is being used for drawing something. And then I have to create one new layer. I say dimension or DIM, dimensioning layer. It can be white, it can be any color you want. Just I want to use a different color to the drawing. Or magenta. Okay. So I change this layer now to my dimension layer. So this is a linear dimension from here, from this point to this point. I have to show this. For that, I can go to dimensions, then linear. Okay. And this is my one endpoint. You have to keep your snap open. And this is my other endpoint. And then I can go here. Okay. Now, I have to show the breadth as well. This one. This is supposed to be my dimension. But even if you look, sometimes these dimensions are not very legible. So you have to change style of these dimensions. So how can we do it? For that, just a moment. I know the command. So if you type D dimension style and type enter. See, most of these commands actually holds good for AutoCAD also. That's why I was picking up this software. So dimension style. Okay. So here you see that I have a style already mentioned. You go there to dimension. Okay. I have a style which is known as standard, which is by default dimension style. You can rename it or you can create a new style. So if you want, you can create a new style. So let us create a new style as dimension 1. Or you can say dimension style, style 1, based on standard. Okay, so this style is based on already the existing default standard, and it applies to all the dimensions. So this is okay as long as you don't have a problem. So this is my new dimension style. and you can activate it. Then you can choose what you want to show for this style. For everything here, it looks okay. You can go to angular dimensions. No need now. Now arrows. Do you want to show arrows? So if you want to show arrows, you go to this arrows. If you want to show some dots, you can go for dots. So arrows, I go for closed field arrows. And then the size of the arrows is 0.18 by default. I can increase it up to 2.5 or anything that you want. Normally I prefer to give 2.5. This is actually your own style, okay? Then dual dimensions for the time being we don't need. Feet, geometry, this is automatic, leave it like this. Dimension text. Then do you want to show the dimension above the text? So in this case, if you put it above, then this thing will go above this line. So you can keep above the dimension with leader or without a leader. So you just click without a leader. Dimension scale. Always keep this scale factor as 1. Don't change the scale factor, okay? So this is important because if you change any scale factor to more than 1, then since you draw, or the custom is that you draw to 1:1 scale always, the moment you change its scale to something else, dimension scale, these dimensions will change. Okay. Additional options, dimension lines within a specified text placement. This you can, or you can just leave it like this. Dimension format, decimal precision, how much of a dimension precision you want. Just keep it to 1 decimal values. Then the prefix suffix for the time being we don't need. Line, dimension line settings. Don't change this. Offset. So offset means these lines. So if you place this text above this dimension line, how far will it be from the dimension line? So I can keep it as 2.5, no problem. Okay. Color by block, leave it like this. Don't change anything. Extension line setting. So my extension line is this part. Do you see this small line that is extended? This magenta line, the arrow is up to here, and then a part of the line is extended beyond this arrow. So this part is known as my extension line. So how much of an extension that you really want to go for? You can just keep it as 1.2. Or distance past dimension lines, I can just leave it as 2.5. Let us see what changes we have. Then dimension diameter, no need text setting. Okay, so this text height, go to text. I can keep it as 3.5. Okay, in text position centered, or we can say over extension line 1 vertical is above. You can just change these things. So the moment you say above, this thing is above here. Okay, offset from dimension 9, let us make it as 2.5. And then text alignment, align horizontally, no need to change these things. Everything is okay, then apply. Okay. Now, this has to be according to my dimension style. So I pick this thing and then I go to control 1 in order to open up my palette of properties. What was it? Control 1 or yes. So you see this style is again standard. So actually this is the style I want to use. I have picked up this dimension and then I select this. Oh, so you see my dimension is actually far bigger than this. But again, you can modify this dimension. So go to D. Then where do we have to modify it exactly? E, dimension style, then fit, wait a minute, geometry, dimension scale we don't change, in dimension decimal, round the nearest, 0 is 0, 0 is okay, scale factor is 1, next. Hmm. This text height 3.5. Let us change it to 1.5. Okay, and then we had one arrows there. This is 2.5. Let us make it as 1.5. So let us see the change we see now. Apply. Look at this dimension 8.6. Okay. You see now it has been a little better. Then again, this offset is too much between from this line up to here. So then dimension. Okay. Arrows. Arrows now a little bit okay. Next, our offset was line, dimension line setting, offset 2.5. Let us make it as 1. Uh, extension line setting. I again use this 2.5. Let us make it as 0.06 or 0.5. And click apply. Okay, okay. Now little bit better. Still, this offset is far bigger. Okay, so this is how actually you create a new dimension, and then you can just try to modify the dimension to suit the way you want to reflect it in the drawing. Okay. Again, remember the dimensions lines are normally mm, uh, you will have to give a different line weight to this dimensions line. Okay, if you click here, then you will see that scale everything is okay. Mm. So it is by layer. So you can just change the line weight so that either it becomes thinner or thicker when it is being plotted according to this line weights. So let us come back to the drawing that we had discussed. Okay, how you are going to proceed with the drawing. So for that, what do we have? We make a new layer. Suppose it is the layer of walls. Then we make a new layer of windows or doors. Doors and windows. What other things are there? Let us have a different color. Walls, maybe you can use another color. Doors and windows, another color. Okay. So by default, this is my doors and windows. Oh no, for my walls. Now the next thing is I am going to check the units, which units this drawing is now. So your unit of the drawing was in millimeters, is it? Unit, block unit format millimeters. coordinate system and everything. Drawing scale 1:1. I am not going to change these things. Okay. Then look at the drawing. The next thing is we have to save the drawing. Wait a minute. For that, go to File, Save. Where do I want to save the drawing? Anywhere. Suppose in my D, residential building 001. RESIDENTL residential building 001 in my D drive. Okay. First of all, I have a plan view. So it says uh, a small residential building consists of two rooms with front veranda and attached latrine at the back as shown in the line diagram. So the line diagram is actually given to you. So let us concentrate on the line diagram. So if you look at the drawing, I think you have the drawing, right? You can download it from the Google Classroom, whatever is being given, residential building. Some of you have actually drawn it, but for those, or actually for all, I am just showing you one time how you can proceed. So it says I have a room which is 3,500 by 4,200 millimeter wide. So I can just use my rectangle command to draw it 4200, comma 3500, the first part. And zoom extend. Okay, I want to check how much is my length. DLI, the dimension. Just a moment. 3. So you have to play with these figures, okay, until you get a offset maybe 3.5. Again, 3500 this way, and then the other way around is 4200. Just a moment. It dimension text, going to scale. I'm not going to change the scale. Linear dimension, scale factor. Let's go to 30. Mhm. Wait a minute. Yeah, dimension. This should be one. Then line dimension. Scale factor is 1. 8. Setting. Height of this one, I can make it as suppose 100. Okay, little bit better. 3500. Make it as 280. Okay, so at least we can read it when we just draw. Okay, where is it for? So this is the first part, which is 3500 by 4200. Okay, that's correct. So we put this to our dimension layer. Next, it says another drawing room has an extension of 3600, and then there is a latrine, which is wait a minute, 4000, 4500, 1000-meter wide. So I explode this rectangle and then offset it to 3600. 600 in this direction. Okay, then I draw a line from here to here. Then it says I have an offset of 1000. This one. Then another offset of 4500. Offset of 4500. This one. I extend this line up to here. So I will use EX. This one. This one. Okay. And then another offset of 1500. Line. This one. Then I trim this part. So basically this is the skeleton. I can switch off the dimension layer. Okay. This is the drawing or the line drawing. So within this you have to fit the actual drawing. So which one are we going to draw first? The plan view or the elevation? Yes.
Plan view.
Yes, good. So we have the line drawing. we have to draw the plan view from here. So for that, you can make a copy of this, or you can just draw it. So for copy this drawing, set somewhere here. Okay. Then how much is it given? Another information. Thickness of the main wall, 200 millimeter. And it says these are the internal dimensions. Okay, the room dimensions. Okay. So the wall should be offsetted outward or inward. The wall has a thickness of 200 millimeter. So what will you do? Hmm?
Inside,
No,
offset
no.
inside.
Offset inside. But actually these are the internal dimensions. Inside measurements. It is written 4200350036004500. These all are internal. That means this is the confined space. So for that, we can create and extend that space with 200 millimeter thickness of wall size. Is it? So for that, you can make a polyline. So everybody has a different approach. Yes. Then you want to join the polyline. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Then I offset outward 200 millimeter. This thing also I offset it here. I offset it here. Okay. Trim the outside part. I stretch it here. Remember today you heard about stretch. Then extend this part. Then again trim it. So you see, there is not a hard and fast rule how you should be drawing. Everyone has their own individual approaches. So I am comfortable like this. Next, 200 millimeter thickness. So what will you do to this 200 millimeter thickness? Let us offset this thing 200 millimeters outward. Or under. Hmm. So next is uh, there are the doors and the windows which are given of specific sizes. So first door is 1000 by 2000. So 1000 is the dimension of the door outside to outside. Okay, just a moment. I take a phone. Oh, by the way, মই ক্লাছত আছো কওকচোন মই in the middle of a class আপুনি কোনজনে কওকচোন কি আছে হয় 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 সেইটো ছবিখন লিখি তাতে আপোনাৰ ল'ৰা বা ছোৱালীজনৰ নামটো লিখি ওপৰত কোন ক্লাছ কোন স্কুল এইকেইটা ইনফৰমেশ্যন দি বা ছবিখনত নাথাকিলেও ছবিখন বেলেগে ফটো মাৰি এইখনৰ এটা কৰি দিলে হ'ল তাতে নামটো লিখি দিলে হ'ল কোনে দিছে সাবজেক্টটো নন ভায়োলেন্স অহিংসা হা আৰু 1 তাৰিখৰ আগতে পঠাই দিলে ভাল আৰু ঠিক আছে okay so come back to the doors and the windows. So this is our layer for the doors and the windows. So I have a line like this and I have an offset of 200 millimeter, that is exactly the thickness of the wall. I have the inside dimension as or the outside dimension as 1000. Okay. This part should be around how much? 3 inches is around 75. Okay. I put an offset like this. And here. And I made it. Thickness is 20. You see, so this much is 1000. This is 200. That is the thickness of the wall. I am going to create a block of these doors and the windows. So I create a block B, then I name it as W1 for the window and select this, and then I put the insertion point here. Okay, now my other block is redefined. Now I'm going to insert W1 somewhere here, and then I have to rotate. Oh, I didn't teach you the rotate. So RO is rotate. You can keep minus 90 degree and then move this thing 200 inside, so it fits the wall. So there is a position of doors and windows. So this position is not hard and fast. You can go here. Okay. Then there are two important commands I forgot to teach you before. So one command is known as rotate. R-O-T-A-T-E, rotate. So that means if you have an object like this and it is as RO, you enter like this and you select the object, you specify the base point, suppose here. So if you say 90 degree rotation, normally it will rotate anti-clockwise 90 degree. So this would be my base point, something like that. So in this case the window I have rotated. Okay, so for example, let's say this is the window. Now I want to rotate the window. This is my base point and I say 90 degree. This is rotated anti-clockwise 90 degree. If you say minus 90 degree, it will rotate it in the clockwise direction. So one more command is after rotate, important command is known as the mirror. M-I-R-R-O-R, mirror. So if you have an object like this, okay, so if you want to draw an object in this direction, similar, you can just mirror this thing like this. So it will produce a mirror image of this. This is mi, and the axis from which I am mirroring it is this axis. So you can either mirror this in order to get this, or you can mirror this in order to get this. It's like a reflection of the original. So if this is the original, this is the image, or if this is the original, this should be the image. So in order to draw one more window here, one simple trick is to mirror this window according to a point somewhere here. So normally what I do, I select this one and then take the midpoint and simply mirror it. Okay, so you get two windows here. Then we have one more window uh, somewhere here. Then we have one more window somewhere here. So if this is not the exact position, we'll go somewhere in between. Then how about this side? Simply mirror this window. Okay, and then we have one more window of the same size somewhere here, and then I'm rotating this window according to this base point and moving it a little bit slightly back. Okay. So this is my window W1. Do you have more windows somewhere? No. And we have another type of windows. Yes.
Sir, this inside line, will the dimension not decrease if I place one another line to make the wall?
Another line.
Yeah, sir. This center line, sir. If I place one more line, will the dimension not decrease?
Actually, the inside dimensions are given in the line drawing, so that is being mentioned. So it is supposed to be the room or the floor spaces. So if you look at the first inside measurements, it should be 4,200 into 3,500. So you are right. So if I look here, if I look at this, this should be 4,500, which is correct, and this should be my 3,600. You see the drawing. This should be the inside dimension. But the problem is, this side the room dimension will be different in that case. 3,500, which is also correct. How about the 4,200 line? So this is my 4,000. So in this case, what can we do? This should be 4,200. Is it? My inside to inside dimension. Is it? So you can stretch. Yeah, so if you stretch this part 200, so this satisfies the criteria. See now, this is 3,500 by 4,200. This is the first inside dimension of the room, whatever room it is. Next room dimension is 4,500 by 3,600. The veranda is supposed to be 1,000 millimeter wide. So if it is the inside dimension from here to here, it is only 800. So again, how to make it? What? 1,000. Stretch this 200 this way, but the problem is it has gone up. So again, you stretch from here 200, 1,500. Okay. Then what is the remaining part? 2,000. Okay, the meeting will end soon. From here here 1300. So this should be how much? 1500 according to my inside dimension. So just press it 200. Yes. Yeah. Now compare it with the inside dimensions, whatever you want to do. Okay. Check this out with the line drawing, because the room sizes inside measurements are given. If you see it clearly. Okay. Is it? Yeah. Yes or no? So when you write room 4,200 into 3,500, that means the area covered confined within the walls or the four walls of that particular room. So that is the inside dimension. So 4,200, 3,500 for the first room, then 1,500 wide or width for the second room, then 4,500 and 3,600 for the third room, and then the veranda is 1,000 millimeter wide. So this also satisfies both the criteria, the inside dimensions as well as the 200 millimeter wall thickness. So we will be mostly interested how far space is available within these walls. Okay, that's how. Forget about the outer dimensions. It may be somehow different, but try to stick to the inside dimensions always from wall to wall. Okay? Yes or no? We are going to end this session soon. Okay. Okay, so for the time being, I have saved the drawing. And okay, so if you want, I can share this drawing with you so that you can just try to figure out how you can do the other part. Then, okay, so these things we will be later on dealing it. And then you have to do some construction lines. So this is known as XL or construction line. This is in a horizontal direction like this. XL construction line. These are known as the reference lines. This one. So this will be my wall to wall outside if you're going to draw the elevation, right? Then you have a plinth height of 450. You can offset that line to 450, this one, and then just follow the projection of these lines. Okay, then what is the height from the first floor up to the ceiling? This is 3,000. So 3,000. Okay, so you just trim this part. Then what is the first how to say the thickness of the first floor? 200. So it's 200. Okay. Okay, so actually this is if it is supposed to be the front elevation, so this thing will come in the front. So we need to know which is the front side. So we can move this thing over here. So you see the front side, the drawing is somehow different. So we'll have this line shifted from here up to here. Anyway, we will check with this other part of the drawing in the next class, okay? Otherwise this class is going to end soon. Okay then, see you next week, same time.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
See you.